here.
PiTER, though, in the upper bracket, when they were still in the upper bracket of these playoffs, as this is the lower bracket round 2, best of 3, so after this, someone will be heading home. It was PiTER who lost 2-1 to Mortal Kombat, former G-Play, but the one map that they did win was Cash. Even with Dreamer over there on MK dropping a 30 bomb, nearly a 30 bomb, 29, I'll give it to him. You know, you can always round up 1, right? It just makes it sound better to say 30 bomb. But here we go. Into the pistol. ESC versus PiTER. We've got... looks like a retake on A kind of set up for ESC Gaming, as they'll be very heavy towards mid and B with just one guy that's repo spawning a truck.
Yeah, that was the set play here, but interestingly enough, it's PiTER that are going to be aggressing on mid, and with all these smokes coming out, ESC must know that something's up. Then they hear the pitter-patter of feet coming through. That's right into Tessex CZ, and he will put down JMQA with authority. He gets answered back though, so this retake on A strat could very well pay out dividends as Waterfalls goes for a backflip, gets headshotted down from Minio, but again, this just trade back and forth, and suddenly it's down to 2 players. Dirksy though only on 10 HP, 1 bullet will seal this round, and then we go ESC take it down with Matty. So, well, such a close round to start things off, but I think the fact they all stacked mid definitely helped the CTs there.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think... did they even get a kill in mid? The wall of smokes were good, and there were a ton of flashes to allow them to get through vents, but the fact that there were still 2 in B, and the fact that they were in mid means the rotation of the flank was pretty quickly. I don't know if that's a result of ESC Gaming having stuttered up PiTER's T-side strat, or if that's just kind of the default they like to run on pistol, where they will just play retake on that A site, because it can be very hard to hold once you take it, and even like a 5v5 or 4-on-4 situation, so... here we go, into round 2 now. ESC Gaming trying to survive the anti-eco, as we know it's so difficult to do in CSGO. Spiker's already started off with a kill. That means Neeks for ESC is down. Neo will even things back up though with that MP9 over in the B site.
Yeah, nice work with the SMG, but again, there has been quite a lot of damage exchanged between the 2 teams, and Tech9 can burst onto that B site, which is where Facecrack is currently residing. Waterfalls with the bomb is going to be pushing in as well, but there's 2 players stacked on the back of the site itself, and that could prove to be pretty much an issue for the T. Somehow, though, they are getting the upper hand in this trade. Tessek misses everything with the MP9, and PiTER get that bomb planted. 2v4 retake from ESC, but they have no grenades to retake this site. It could definitely pay off for them because they have the weapons up against Tech9, but you can see there that JMQA is going to get the frag onto Matty, and Repo answers back, and he may be just looking for exits here. I don't think he's got any chance at retaking this site and defusing the bomb.
They'll want a chance in the next round, try to formulate a strategy around the surviving MP7 and the armor. But PiTER will have got themselves this second round, and now Repo's been discovered. No one from the other end of the checker. Oh, through the wall! He expands this little garage door in the back of checker, down to 5 HP now after the bomb. Waterfall's coming in on the other side of the vent. Repo doesn't know which way to look. I'm not sure the desperation flick back and forth really helped him out there. But that just goes to show how desperate of a situation that really was for him. And that'll be 1-1 now, tying things up. ESC not able to save anything, and, well, off to a rocky start with that CT economy. It always sucks to get eco'd like that as the CTs.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it wasn't for a lack of opportunities either. I mean, they pushed through, as I said before, onto the site, and they had themselves SMGs to fend off this aggression from the T's, and they just completely dirt their spray. There's Neeks looking for an opportunistic frag through onto Squeaky. He gets put down with authority from Spiker, who's then going to get traded out from Repo and Matty. But again, PiTER, they have the upper hand, and they are getting onto the site, so they should be okay. That being said, actually, the bomb is way back. It was dropped down towards drop zone, I think, so it is going to be the kind of scenario where they're going to look to try and push onto the site now with this bomb, and it should be pretty easy when you look at the fact that it's against USPs and P250s, but against full weapons, that could have been an issue. Regardless, though, Minio, last remaining player, and P250 in hand, good luck.
They'd like to get a kill, maybe 2 at least, and force them to rebuy up and play without, you know, full smokes and Molotovs, because that can hinder your T side a little bit. And there he goes, my Neo or Minio will be grabbing at least 1 kill, trying to work for a second here. That P250 actually able to scoop up a Galil, and perhaps now he can decide to save or make it a little bit more costly. If he kills another player, it's going to be big, but he'll run straight into Waterfalls, who was trying to clear out that B site, finds him upstairs, And that'll be that. PiTER leading now 2-1, and still ESC Gaming. Probably just gonna save. They could, but no, they're gonna force it up here. And this is risky, right? Because now you get to the situation. Yeah, your round losing bonus is starting to stack up, but the CT side is very expensive. You'll be right into another save and into another poor rifle round. That'll be your future if you lose this round.
Yeah, agreed. I would have liked to have seen them save up this one, but hey, you know, fortune favours the brave. If they're to lose this though uncomfortably, this could be a horrible, horrible denting blow to their economy and their confidence as well. And PiTER already starting well in this round with the even trade. That will favour the terrorists. It allows them to exploit that already thinned out CT side that much more. Waterfalls, he had a bit of confrontation there, but didn't eat any shots. He certainly was in the position where he could have fallen down. There's 2 players stacked on highway boxes, 3 on A. And for that early trade, me saying it favours the terrorists, they're going to be pushing onto the stacked sites. This could definitely backfire for them. But Manny is just waiting round the corner, letting his teammates die. And he gets killed without anything in return. So now it's my Neo, again in a 1v3. And he'll have half the mind to just save this weapon, but it's not going to happen. So PiTER do take down that 4th round. And ESC's force buy simply doesn't pay off.
The way this has started out, PiTER already, in my mind, the favored team in this matchup, especially on this map with the results that PiTER put up against MK. And now ESC starting off, not really managing their economy the way I would have liked them to. I mean, it's very hard to survive the anti-eco rounds. Honestly, it is in CSGO. So them falling to the Tech 9 armor is not too surprising, but, you know, just trying to get that rifle round earlier without just saving those full 2 rounds now puts them in a rough spot, because they save here. They'll be going into round 6 then in a situation where, like, it's just going to be caught on loop. It's like Groundhog Day. They're going to be like, oh, we can buy, they're going to buy, they're going to lose, and then they'll have to save, and they'll have another crappy rifle round. Unless they finally say, let's just double save and get a true proper rifle round. That'll give PiTER probably 5 rounds, but maybe they can climb back from there and at least get some rounds in this half on that CT side.
Yeah, and the issue there as well, you know, they went for the force buy, as we said as well. We were both a bit confused at this. They could only get FAMASs, so that means they couldn't get any up. They couldn't get any defuse kits as well. So if you give up a site, that's pretty much game over unless you get a load of frags in the process. Whereas if they just saved up that round, they would have had, in the 5th round, the previous one they just lost as expected was an eco, they'd have had AWPs there. They would have had themselves a solid buy-up of just like pure weapons. So this is why I was a bit surprised. You know, maybe even go for P250s or something in the previous round. Maybe go for some grenades. Maybe just like stack nade mid, you know, and try and get a couple frags or drop zone or something. But either way, that's in the past. PiTER 4-1 ahead, and now they are coming up against the full buy from ESC. Waterfalls does miss that shot. 2nd time, not quite lucky. And that grenade should do significant damage. And there we go. Tesek, who was out in the open, that grenade pretty much isolated him from the highway box. They finally do get their man.
This round was a bit stronger from ESC than I would have thought, equipment-wise. Just lacking some of their nades. Some people, you know, going without head armor, but that's not really the biggest deal. Though you do see Face Crack with that M4A1, and man, is that gun a nice thing to have when the enemy doesn't have head armor. But already, you know, it started off, it could have been much worse, right? Waterfalls actually had an opportunity to kill both of those players middle. Granted, if the first one died, maybe the second one never ever peaked, but he does find one to open up the round. Matty at least kills one, but is immediately traded out by JMQA as PiTER now have taken up that B site. And JMQA thinking about pushing through CT, making a bit of noise while doing it though, so Repo probably just on the edge of hearing that, should realize that he might be getting pushed here. He'd like to do a bit more damage to the T side, but already round 6 belonging to PiTER.
Yeah, very much the case. There's really no hope, even if he gets this frag. Clutching this round without a defuse kit or nades. And he was looking for the exits. And, I mean, they want him to save the M4 now at this point. He's got a Molotov, he's got some Kevlar, he's got plenty of money on his person. So he needs to save this and keep it going forward. And he's gone to CT spawn, so he should be A-okay for now. But already, yeah, 5-1 for PiTER. This is a fantastic start from them. And I guess the worry now from ESC is that it hasn't been a case of just one site being weak. PiTER have exploited every single aspect of this map so far on T side. They've gone A, B, they've gone through mid, and by and large, ESC haven't been able to stand up to it.
Indeed. And let's see, Face Crack, they're at 7 kills. Definitely one of the players, if not the player to watch out for on this team. In terms of his statistics throughout the postseason, he is leading in everything, kills, assists. Actually leading in deaths as well, where that's not actually a good statistic, but it is kind of funny to note that he's leading in all of those categories. He's got the highest ADR in the team, and actually Dursky, who is the player coming in to replace Waylander, does have the second best stats throughout the postseason here for them. But already this round, we got into a close 2v2 and now a 1v1, and Spiker holding onto the site with his 19 HP. This will be tough. Time is clicking against Maddie trying to retake, but Spiker being so low. Oh! But it doesn't matter when you got reactions like that.
Oh my goodness. And the thing is, you could see Spiker was desperate for a peek, and that's because he's on solo HP, so it's like, I need to catch him off guard. I need to catch him in transition. That's my best chance, because if we come one-on-one, both around a corner, I'm going to lose more than likely. But what a shot. There is nothing that ESC can do about that. Beautiful. And now 6-1, with the CZ 5-7 hybrid sort of upgrade slash fours, I guess, with a couple of Kevlars. They do have enough to buy next round, however. And look at this from Tessic. He's rushed right through the middle.
Just sitting in the smoke here, so he could definitely backstab Facecrack. He will throw this flash, and that might alert the presence. Oh, he wants to push through, though, so he doesn't realize that they just crossed through that smoke. Now it's a 4-on-3 again, just the pistols and some Kevlar for the richer players of ESC Gaming. Now just my Neo left alone. He did bring down Dursky, who finally found out Tessic, and the bomb was back there, so my Neo making a stand for this, making this round, you know, costly. And the last one was pretty close as well. The fadeaway Tech 9 shot, though, will end the round, so now it's 7-1. And I did want to point out that while not many clutch kills have happened for this team in the postseason, Spiker did have the most, so I guess you could argue he would have been the best person to have in the situation a round ago.
Yeah, he strikes me as a player that is very much like reaction based as well in his movements. He's very twitchy. You know, he's the kind of player that is going to pull off those sick flick shots now and again. So it makes for great entertainment. And of course, in those clutch scenarios, he definitely can get the better hand just with his pure reaction speed. You can see that Waterfalls did catch a glimpse of a player in mid, didn't quite pull the trigger. Maybe waiting for a more solid shot to present itself. But ESC, I mean, they're holding into position. They do have mid covered off. They played very aggressively on B as well, and they do get the opening picks. That's pretty huge for them. We've seen this before, and they have faltered afterwards. Dursky, fierce Nomad, he goes right in. On to Checker, gets traded out. It does get some vital information for the Russians.
The first time we've seen ESC Gaming, well, besides the pistol round, and really good shape to win it. 4-on-3 right now. Waterfalls, honestly, I was very surprised that he didn't kill that person he saw in middle. It looked like he wanted to shoot, but like maybe mouse 1 didn't work for him. I don't know. Thought he had the opportunity, didn't take it, and then Maddie never was it Maddie? Maybe it was Neeks who never re-peeked him. But JMQ and Spiker hitting 2 shots just like that. A site now open for business for the terrorists, and it flips around 3-on-2. Now PiTER at the advantage. Almost catching my Neo as he tries to rotate up quickly to this truck. That smoke, though, making the sight line hard to find. And pushing around it. My Neo, I thought he had caught a glimpse of the plan here from Waterfalls, but no, Waterfalls will get around him and bring him down close with the Tech 9. Not even using the op that round to find his 1 kill. And once again, ESC Gaming money in a interesting spot. They could force, but some people will not have that desired equipment.
Yeah, you can see their grenades are very few and far between with a couple of FAMASs, but it's now got to a point where they're just desperate for rounds. And they've also got huge round loss bonus coming in, so they should be able to buy up most rounds now, probably with FAMASs. You know, maybe with an M4 and a push, Waterfalls does just about miss that shot. And there's Facecrack again, and we saw in that previous round. In fact, hold that thought, because you can see Dursky once again, he is so aggressive onto B site, and he's took the site. He spots nobody here. That's going to be a call across the rest of his team, who are now getting that bomb and moving towards the site itself. And I think it's Matty. Yeah, it is Matty that's pushed in there onto CT side of B. That smoke is just going to stop him from doing anything else there. He may go up to upper, but then in doing so, he's very aware that there isn't all through and he could get picked off from the cross. 1 minute to play with. Waterfalls takes this into a 3-on-2, and that bomb has been planted.
Bomb now going down. Like you said, 3-on-2, and the team with 2 having to retake onto the B site. Going to be difficult. They got one coming from upper and one flanking there from vents. Dursky deals with the flank, and Waterfall shoots down Maddie, who tries to peek out of upper at the same time. They will fall, and well, ESC Gaming in a really rough spot. 1 round to the 9 of PiTER. 9 in a row as well for PiTER, coming out starting on the 2nd round. And pistol being the only one that ESC has. So that means no rifle rounds for them, although 2 have been close. There's at least 2 rounds that ESC probably should have had in the bag. And unfortunately, we're not able to close out.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, and all these flashbangs confuse PiTER. They get caught with their pants down, and 2 players find themselves put 6 foot under momentarily. There is an answer back from Waterfalls. They realize it's a fast mid-stack, so they're going to try and exploit the weakness on A, and they have pushed through here, but it's going to be into the hands of Myneo with that 5-7. He's ringing out, hasn't quite picked up any frags, but does at least repel the onslaught for a couple more seconds. And now Kentek with the spray down, gets himself 2 in another 1v1 scenario, but you look at Matty's equipment, not great, but Spiker only on 29 HP.
And a minute here for this 1v1 to take place in. I don't think he was spotted there. It was fully behind that quad box. Maddie from A main, trying to catch him if he rotates. He realizes there's time. Spiker could leave this site, head over to B. But no, he's still waiting for the CT to go on the retake. Because a lot of times you will be like, all right, I'll just get on to A and kill him real quick when the bomb's not even planted. And here he goes. Spiker playing into the hand of Maddie. He's trying to cross this truck side. With the 5-7, though, at this range, it's going to be a tough shot. And yeah, Spiker will see him. Now he'll just run straight to B. This time is ticking down, so he'll have to plant right away. And Maddie going for the chase, also following right in his footsteps. Still warm to the earth. Spiker, is he going to go for the aggressive play here? It looks like he's going to. Maybe try to catch him with a nade or a flash out. Evens up the HP, now drops that Molotov, but in the end, it's the Molotov that gets him killed. And Maddie will be able to defuse and get them their first rifle round.
Yeah, again, Spike almost in an identical position to last time, like heavily hurt up. He knew that, you know, they get into that close-knit confrontation, the chances are he's probably going to die, so trying to catch Matty, as you say, with a nade out, or just maybe caught unawares, but not quite paying off for them. ESC do get their 2nd round on the board, but again, we're in familiar territory. If they lose this, their economy is down the drain, so they have to keep this momentum now. They've got a decent buy-up, they've got an AWP in the hands of Next, they've got themselves a bunch of M4s, well, Neeks I should say, pardon me. But we've already seen that when they have the weapons, it doesn't necessarily matter. And, well, PiTER have loads of economy anyway, so it's going to be full buy-up for both teams.
Yeah, if that was Next, I think ESC might have quite a bit more than 2 rounds. Although Neeks does have 8 kills for them. He's right there. The 2nd most frags for his team. And most in the server, though, is going to belong to Waterfall. Suze, honestly, his op hasn't looked... He had a few good shots in that last round, but what does that matter when they lost it? Previous to that, he was missing a few, but still, you know, at least finding a kill. 15 kills for him, 12 for Spiker. Some of those in clutches. But ESC Gaming, it looks like they, you know, trying to salvage this half. They're within... well, maybe 1 and 2 rounds, 2 more wins from crushing PiTER's economy, and that'll give them another few free rounds. Could get a 9-6. You've got Maddie in a really good spot. Waterfalls if he's pushing out. Oh, yeah, they just spotted his head right there. Maddie knows he's seen, doesn't really want to re-peek. Pop flash from his teammate to help him out, and there they go. They will tag team him. Myneo finding the frag, Maddie on the assist, Face Crack and JMQA, the only 2 members for PiTER still alive. They're trying to trickle into that A site. Now, it is just Face Crack. He's got 5 faces to crack by himself, and he gets none.
Yeah, unfortunate. But to be fair to ESC, up until this round, they've looked very, very shaky. That was a fantastic round. That was solid. And just what they needed as well, because from this point, if they do want to get that 9-6, it definitely is possible on cash. It definitely does ebb and flow, but you need to make sure you keep as many weapons to start off with the comeback as possible, otherwise your economy will start to suffer again. So keeping all 5 players, you can see their 7k in the hands of Neeks, that's pretty massive. They're going to be able to buy back up this round, whatever happens going forward. So that's pretty good, but there we go again. The AK-47's raining in, FaceCrack gets the opening pick.
Neeks, though, will win out in the sniper duel up against Waterfalls, and he also finds Dursky Ooh, gets face crack as well. Dirtsky was an easy one because he had a smoke out in his hand. Face crack and waterfalls were the harder kills there, but he gets all three. And now it is just Spiker and JMQA. Tesek moving in, and oh, he will be brought down by the AK from PiTER. Trying to work into the site. I mean, from what we've seen from these guys, they will still have a chance. Bomb not going down, but they are able to cross in that smoke. Bomb to be planted here. Molotov going to go out, won't quite stop the plant. Does get JMQA down to 23 HP. Is going to again maneuver around that smoke. Spiker from Quad will even it up to a 2-on-2. There's also a Molotov for him. It hasn't quite forced him out. Refill goes up top. Will bring down JMQA, who was on that forklift. And Spiker sees that player. Thinks he realizes he missed the jump. He's trying to get the shot on that truck player, but he will be brought down. And both of them getting a lot of shots in there, assisting on the kill. Repo with the defuse, and that'll be another round for ESC Gaming. And I think the money might have collapsed here now for PiTER.
Yeah, they could
Not
force
quite.
up. Yeah, I mean, I was going to say they could force up, but maybe a couple players wouldn't be on fantastic weapons, which looks to be the case here. Facecrack and JMQA may be both on Tech 9s. May go for like a little. Oh, okay, fair enough. So they're going to go for 4 AKs. Tech 9's definitely workable. The issue there, though, from ESC is they got 3 picks from Neeks. Like, pretty solid play. I think it was a 2v4, and still conceded a bomb plant and went down to 1v2. So that's not great, but again, they do get the round. That's the part that matters, and they're still on for that 9-6 comeback. The resurgence is real. But they have to fend off this 14th round. And again, it looks to be Spike just... Oh my goodness, Neeks with another opening pick. This guy is definitely turning on now. He's looking pretty solid.
Spiker and Tesek not even seeing each other. Both almost brought each other down, 4 HP and 16 HP respectively. Rico from up on that catwalk will bring down one, but Waterfall's moving through with the AK, sprays them both down, kind of catching them in confusion, and then Spiker bringing down Tesek, who he had already worked up earlier through that squeaky door. And now my Neo at the truck will be that last... Oh no, sorry, 2 players for them. Neeks hitting his shots, really warming up here, and I mean, almost single-handedly salvaging this first half for ESC.
Completely agreed. Oh, how many frags you got in the last like 3 or 4 rounds? Like 7 or 8, I think. They got 3 in round 13, 2 in that last one. So the guy's been putting down some serious work, and well, maybe that's what they were lacking in the first 5 or 6 rounds was an AWP in his hands. Regardless, though, Matty gets stabbed in the back. 30 HP disintegrates. And again, PiTER are able to force in this final round of the half, but let's see if it's going to pay out for them. Very aggressive push through mid from the CTs once more.
Waterfalls needs to warm up on a game of whack-a-mole. That player popped up real quick. He wasn't even able to react to it, and then they did not go for the repeat. So still 4-on-4, and look at the health on ESC, and now Tesek even being taken down through the door. Once again, that battle through door at A. Spiker will win out in a 3-on-3, but my Neo and Repo are really, really hurt. And still, actually, quite an even amount of nades for both teams. Spiker, though, just still getting these entries. He's found 2. My Neo will surprise him up on the catwalk, but should have been called out. JMQA able to bring in that tray. So 2-on-1 as they get into that A bomb site. Incendiary going out. They're going to be a little too late to stop the plant, but will kind of force face crack. No, actually doesn't force him out of default. Maybe going a little too far. And Neeks, he has actually gone quite sneaky beaky. Like, that'll allow him to get 1 kill. Working with full bullets from the CZ. He's gonna have to go for the reload. And you know that takes about an hour and a half with the CZ. So he's back in it. Got this player super lit down to 5 HP, and he will be able to do it with just 2 clips from that CZ. Neeks, once again, literally picking up his team and getting him into the second half with a chance.
I can't really add anything to that. Neeks has just been fantastic this last 5 or so minutes. Just unbelievable. And I agree. Definitely one of the main reasons why they went from, what was it, 9-1 to 9-6. They got 5 rounds in a row, including 3 defuses. So massive, massive plays from Neeks. And he's now joint top fragging, by the way. When you consider that his team was 9-1 behind at one stage, that in itself is pretty ridiculous. So now on the flip side, you're going to see PiTER running on the CTs. If they can win this pistol, they're still in great shape, even with that comeback the way it has came in. So ESC still have plenty of pressure on their shoulders. And is Neeks going to be able to perform this well on T side? I'm not too sure. We're just going to have to wait and find out.
Yeah, the dynamic of opping on the T side definitely changes a little bit. You're usually the one peeking into the position that's already being held by a CT sniper, so it can make it more difficult. But let's see. I wanted to check the other cash game that PiTER had played just to see how it breaks down. They got 9 rounds on their T side. there, so that's the same exact mark. It wasn't quite as streaky. MK or Mortal Kombat had, you know, 2-3 round streaks. But moving into the second half, when PiTER had to play CT, I mean, they only needed 7, and they obviously got 7 because they won this match. Looks like they upset in round 3, so kind of getting in that last little eco round against the terrorists. They won that, got 4 in a row, and were able to close it out, winning a couple rifles here and there. So they'll look for PiTER to have a very strong CT side.
I do wonder as well if ESC are going to start to find their footing with a few of their players that were underperforming in that first round. Looking at Repo and Tesek in particular, that I mean, they didn't have a terrible first round. It's not like they were missing sitters of shots, but maybe this T is going to kind of open their eyes and wake them up. Some players definitely do perform better on T side. It allows them to be more aggressive and go for those peaks, which you don't really get away with as much on CT. Let's have a look. Fast push into B. It's just going to be the Glock train running in, and it's going to be the first 2 frags as well. Maddie and Neeks both pick themselves up the Glock kill, and that has been the CTs pretty much crumbling on the site. They do get a kill in return, but this is going to be extremely rough for them to retake and potentially defuse this bomb, which is just about to get planted.
Waterfalls will find Tesic, though. Spiker to bring down Neeks. Now that Neeks is out of the picture, picture's looking a little bit better for PiTER. 2-on-1 now. Can they get Repo? Yeah, they will be able to flank him there. Still pretty tight round and able to get the bomb plant, so that is good for ESC. But now we do have ESC obviously won the first pistol, then lost 9 in a row, and here it will be PiTER grabbing the second pistol. Will it be a similar story? Will ESC gaining, will the Tech 9 armors be too strong for PiTER to hold off, or let's just see. They will go for a nice mixture. Not a nice mixture. They've got 4 rifles, only 1 submachine gun. I wonder, you know, what they'll try to play. Got these rifles against the Tech 9 armor. You'd like to get it as far away as possible. Oh, and actually no armor coming in for ESC.
So it's a bit surprising to me, because typically if a T side gets a bomb plant on the first round, you're half expecting them to go for the AKs in the second round, or sorry, the third round.
Yeah.
Because it allows them to boost up. So I'm a bit surprised that PiTER would go for the assault rifles. Then again, Cash, you know, if you play further back, you do have the range advantage, as we're seeing here. FaceCrack just opening up with the M4.
Pretty much seal the deal.
Yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell, because you can see the bombs dropped as well. It's a horrific position for ESC, and that pretty much is the 17th round. So for me saying that maybe I'd have preferred some more SMGs, the fact they don't lose any weapons, I mean, that doesn't matter. It's no longer relevant. PiTER just stormed through into the 11th round. But here comes potential AK-47s for ESC and Galil. There we go.
Yeah, so just going for the pistol upgrades and a smoke, trying to probably just get the bomb. Because you've spent a little bit more money. Generally, you full eco going into the third round as a terrorist to pull out those AKs. That time, I think they really wanted to get the bomb down again. Because, you know, they each spent about $800 there. The bomb obviously would have given that right back. So you will see an MP7 on Repo right now, which I guess does match with JMQA's on the other side. But Galil's and somewhat limited nades. FaceCrack holding down quad once again. He was on the other side of it last time. He's peeked right into, and he'll be mollied in return. He threw out an incendiary. He's able to retreat, though, and stay alive. That's what's important here. Not a soul to go down yet. Some damage going out, and a ridiculous flash. Oh my gosh, they are so blind. They line up. And yeah, if it wasn't FaceCrack to get all of them, I mean, that was literally, they could have fit in a blender with how close they were bunched up when they were flashed.
The fantastic teamwork and the crossfire set down there. And FaceCrack, even though he bided his time and he could have just rushed out, you could see they were all flashed up and ready for him. He played the smart game. He waited for the crossfire from the rest of his team to move into position. He didn't want to run through and get himself killed needlessly, because even while flashed, you know, you can get panic fire from the T. So like, oh my goodness, we're flashed. Let's just fire towards that general location, and sometimes you will get your head took off your shoulders. So very well played. It is an eco push from ESC through mid, and they've already found themselves Spiker, who opens up with 2 frags. JMQ from Vents with the MP7. That will leave Tesek in a pretty sticky situation, and he finds the same fate as the rest of his team. 13-6, but there will be another round inbound for ESC with AK-47s. And an AWP, an actual glass cannon AWP from Neek, so he's feeling it, and why not? Because on CT his AWPing was crazy towards the end.
Yeah, it'll probably come down to Neeks getting them back into this half as well. Having lost the first rifle round is always going to be tough. They'll have a second shot here. So far, PiTER, though, looking pretty solid. They'll actually go for a fast peek towards the Squeaky door. So they are pushing through Squeaky right now. JMQ and FaceCrack getting kills elsewhere. Oh, that was FaceCrack that killed Repo. He had pushed and now he's already fallen back. Where's JMQA playing? He was out towards the middle. He's in the vents. Whether he pushed mid aggressively or got boosted through B, I didn't quite notice, but he has been rewarded with 2 kills for it. And now it's a 5-on-2, and the hope of this round for ESC has fallen apart. They're moving in through those vent rooms. Spiker going to get another one through the door. It's about the second time he's done that, and FaceCrack just waiting in A main. We'll bring down Tessic. And a solid round for PiTER. A good round to build the economy with 4 surviving.
Well, 8-round advantage. And as you say, massive economy in the back pocket. ESC simply have to go for the force. Unless they wanted to play for a 9-round save into overtime. That's just not an ideal situation. So ESC go for the force. They do have themselves 3 assault rifles and 2 Tech 9s. The issue for me, though, is the ESC haven't seen that potent on the T side thus far. They haven't really burst through other than the pistol round, but that's kind of to be expected when a Glock train roars in. But maybe I spoke too soon. Neeks and Repo both charge in towards B. They take down the site. This is much better from ESC. Maybe ruthless aggression is what the doctor ordered for them. And PiTER, well, it's a 2v5. They've got the economy to go for this if they want to, and FaceCrack now, it's all him.
Well, it's exactly what ESC did on basically their full eco. They spent about $1,000. They had 2 smokes and a P250. They did the fast cross smokes out middle to go vents to B. Maybe that was just a desperation play, or maybe they were looking for an information grab, although what information they would have gathered from dying in their own smokes, I don't know. But they reuse that strat here on the rifles, and it works out, perfectly. They just steamrolled themselves into that B site. PiTER, though, we talked about their money being quite good and very important on the CT side to be able to lose a round and still pull out a rifle round. They'll be able to lose even this round and have another rifle, which will make closing this game out somewhat easy, because if you win this now and get on to match point, ESC Gaming are going to be in a tough spot. But Matty, staying in it to win it. He'll bring down Spiker early on, so giving the Terrorist the man advantage.
I like the call here from PiTER as well, not going for an AWP. They could have afforded one easily, 9.5k still on JMQA, but they realize that the fast aggression with smokes definitely doesn't play into the AWP strengths. So going for the full M4 stack, it doesn't really pay off for them though, because they have lost the first 2 players. That being said, Dursky, I was going to say, if he plays this one perfectly, he could have picked himself up a bunch of frags, but it is very unfortunate timing from him. Not really his fault. And now Waterfalls, well, 1v4. Similar position to what FaceCrack was in the last round, but you've already called it completely correctly. They can buy up next round regardless. So ESC, they've got to keep this going forward. They can't take their foot off the accelerator. Waterfalls may just go for some exits. Nope, Tessek shuts him down. And ESC do just about get their 8th round on the board.
Wouldn't have been a bad idea to save that. I guess JMQA, though, he's in 5 digits at 11k. He'd be able to drop 2 guns, no problem. Saving it would have been a little bit easier on their economy, but again, still a lot of rounds to work with. Probably don't have to worry too much until ESC Gaming gets their way into the double digits, and then PiTER can maybe start to worry about what adjustments they might have to make, because now that's 2 rounds in a row for ESC Gaming. And here they go, fast towards A. Looks like 4 main and 1 through that squeaky door.
Yeah, they are mixing it up. They're keeping PiTER on their tiptoes. Well, the issue now is, again, as ever with T-side, when you're in this kind of deficit, if you make one mistake or one huge individual play, look at that grenade, does a lot of damage to 3 players in the main. Good timing, Nate, from FaceCrack. But if you make one mistake, that could be all she wrote. And now here comes the push into FaceCrack's crosshairs. Kind of unfortunate timing. He was in the middle of nowhere while transitioning towards MBK spot. But fortunately for him, his teammates are coming in. Spiker gets a frag before being shut down with authority from Tessek, who then gets traded up from Waterfall. It's all on Neeks. He has been the standout player for me on ESC, but this could be too much to ask from him. He has spotted the first player. That was Waterfalls, and just like that, it is 15-8. So for all that hard work, ESC right up against it once more.
It's good for ESC that they were able to get 2 rounds in a row, round 21 and 22, with 4 surviving members, because that, again, T-side's cheaper, but it still allowed them to get another rifle round going into the match point. So it makes PiTER's life a little bit harder. A lot of times you get to the last round and the other team's money is completely shattered, and it's pretty easy to close it out. But this will still be a bit of a test for PiTER, and how will ESC Gaming mix it up? We saw them go out towards the middle and then hit A twice. This time it looks like they'll run kind of a default. They got the bomb down and they're looking for some picks, but some B aggression. We'll trade out evenly 2 and 2 after the dust settles over there in the B halls.
1 minute 13 on the timer. ESC have the bomb in the hand of Repo. And you can see here the CTs. This is one of the reasons why the even trades favors terrorists. They have to stack one player in each key area. And this will leave FaceCrack very vulnerable. And he's being encircled. That's a beautiful flashbang, which nearly pays off onto Tesek. But what a reaction shot from him. And a second as well. Maybe Tesek
Ace
has
clutch?
just bought ESC the round. It could be the ace clutch, actually. Dead on that. And Dursky, he's got the grenades and he's got the HP. He can pull this off.
Well, Incendiary is going to force Matty off of one side or the other. He won't take any damage from it. Oh, it doesn't go quite wide enough, so still able to sit behind the cover of that quad. Gives a quick re-peek. You got Repo moving around that forklift, and Dursky still trying to force his way into the bomb. He's got to the bomb. He'll tap it. He'll still be quiet. Again, hitting Matty, and finally from behind. Matty buying enough time for Repo to work his way all the way around and hit the headshot. So well played from ESC in that 2-on-1. And still match point for PiTER, but it looks like they'll have to slow down. They're going to have to save, and that does allow ESC to get into the double digits at least.
Yeah, I've got to say, Matty played that pretty much perfectly on very low HP, just about saving up enough time for his teammate to come around the back. And kind of unfortunate there, but as you say, 9-15, eco for PiTER. Let's see how they're going to stack. Are they going to go for anything crazy? They do go for a very fast push in from waterfalls through mid and that smoke. But he hasn't spotted any T's just yet. There we go. Finally claims the frag. He's going to be transitioning into the AK-47. Meanwhile, here comes a push onto A site. Dursky isn't going to do too much with that position. And now ESC will get that bomb planted soon. The bomb is still going through A main. And Waterfalls gets boosted up. He's looking for the kill and he's picked it off.
Yeah, Waterfall's making it close. Still alive, but on 16 HP. No armor with an AK. Oh, too bad he's so separated from JMQA. That would have been a great opportunity to just pass him the AK, but still with the 5.7, he'll be dangerous. Takes out Repo immediately. Neeks on the trade. Brings him down. So, at the double digits, but another rifle here from PiTER. And now you can maybe start to worry. At least, you'd have to go into OT. It would be ESC having grabbed the momentum from you and then maybe favored going into overtime. But PiTER still, of course, pretty good chance in a couple more, at least 2 or 3 more rifle rounds they will have to try to close this out.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised that Waterfalls didn't drop his AK. He only had like 12, 14 HP. But then you look at the score, 28 for 14. You can understand why they kept it on him. They had every faith, every bit of confidence that he would pick up the frags. But he is the first player to fall here in the 26th round. So, curse of the commentator is alive and well. And ESC, this is where I always begin to believe when you get double digits. That's when I feel the confidence and the comeback is certainly possible. And PiTER, they did force up. They had a FAMAS, which has been taken down. Now ESC once more pushing on to A. It seems that that's their favourite site here. Is the A site. Tesek gets caught though from FaceCrack. Very aggressive peek from him. Ooh, I thought that was a no-scope there or something through the wall, but it's actually the AK-47 from Minio. And now the push in effect onto the site. FaceCrack locking it down. Trying to buy up enough time for JMQA and Dursky to get in close enough proximity, but he's died as well. And that should be an easy round. It's a great spray down, but this should still be a good round for ESC. Or maybe I spoke too soon.
Yeah, they're very low in this 2-on-2. That spray, they kind of lined up into that smoke. They went so low, then the nade from Dursky went in. He's in a 1-on-1 now very quickly against Neeks. He'll tap the bomb. Neeks, coming around the corner, but kind of walk peeking and not wanting to make the noise. Thinking maybe he was still on the bomb. And even without a kit here, they will come in on this retake. It was 2 versus 3 there. And, well, PiTER will close it out. They will win their map 16-10, and it'll be off to Mirage, the pick of ESC for map number 2 in this best of 3 here in the lower bracket. So that means a team, out of the playoffs after this.
I feel like that last round could just kind of summarize this whole map, where ESC had the opportunities, they had the favorable position multiple times, and they let round slip. And that's ultimately what was a determining factor for me. PiTER were just better when it came down to those really nitty-gritty situations, when you really get tested, with the game sense and how you can react to pressure cooker situations. So I think, honestly, PiTER looked fantastic there. I expect them to take this forward on Mirage as well. ESC looked a bit shaky at parts for me.
Yeah, when it came into their, their strategies or trying to run pick and roll, like they were able to, get their first shots or slightly, more or less defend the bomb sites initially. But when it came to the late round or even mid round, like decision making and positioning, or even just communication between the teammates of like who's watching what, it seemed to falter a little bit, and that definitely let PiTER come away with some rounds that they should not have won. And likewise, ESC Gaming probably could have done better. Could have been a closer match, or perhaps even to OT. Who knows? But moving on to Mirage, their pick. We'll give ESC maybe more than 10 rounds at least on their own map pick, but still I'm favoring PiTER. I'm staying true to my 2-0 prediction from the start. And well, we'll see what happens when we get back. We'll take a quick break here, and then map number 2, Mirage, going to kick off. I'm Helium, with me Metuz, and when the match is started, we'll be right back with you here, so stay tuned.